London is bleeding. December 2025. Walk down Oxford Street at 4 a.m. and you might witness men wielding machetes fighting outside Bond Street station, while New Year's revelers scatter in terror. Board a bus in Woolwich, and you could be sitting feet away from teenagers hiding machetes under their clothes, hunting their next victim. Step onto a street corner in Shadwell and watch about 10 boys armed with axes and machetes swarm a single victim, stabbing him in the neck before melting back into the night. This isn't some dystopian fiction. This is real life in Britain's capital right now. In January, 2 teenagers boarded a 472 bus in Woolwich carrying concealed machetes and stabbed 14-year-old Kellyanne Vakasa 27 times. 27 times. On a public bus, in broad daylight. He died at the scene while other passengers watched in horror. The statistics tell part of the story. London recorded 938,020 crimes in 2023-24, up from 887,870 the previous year. In the 12 months to December 2024, the city logged 957,481 crimes, a 2.6% increase representing around 24,000 more offenses. That works out to 107 crimes per 1,000 residents. But numbers on spreadsheets don't capture the terror. They don't show you the blood on Oxford Street pavement. They don't convey the screaming mothers burying teenage sons hacked apart by machetes. They don't explain why Londoners now flinch when groups of young men walk past. But before we expose exactly how bad this crisis has become and why police admit they can't control it, understand something crucial. Mainstream media and politicians, especially Mayor Sadiq Khan, love celebrating falling homicide numbers. They'll tell you London recorded the lowest homicide since monthly records began, that knife crime dropped 7%, that things are getting better. What they won't tell you is that violent crime has increased almost every year since 2015-16, that robberies jumped 8.7% to 54,064 crimes, or that gang warfare continues terrorizing neighborhoods while police resources collapse under pressure. That's why we built UK Brief Network. Subscribe now for the real story they won't tell you. Reason 1. Machete and knife gangs operate with terrifying impunity across London. On New Year's Day 2025 at 4:04 a.m., police responded to reports of men armed with knives fighting on Oxford Street outside Bond Street station. A 25-year-old man was rushed to hospital with stab wounds, with some reports claiming he suffered catastrophic bleeding. Witnesses described the scene as terrifying, people screaming, running, chaos erupting in one of the world's most famous shopping districts. No arrests were made. The attackers vanished into the night. This isn't isolated. In June 2025, a man was attacked by approximately 10 boys armed with axes and machetes on Lowell Street in Shadwell, East London. He was stabbed in the neck before paramedics arrived. The attack happened on a busy London street in full view of witnesses. Go back to that bus attack in Woolwich. Kellyanne Vakasa, 14 years old, boarded the 472 bus heading to an appointment. He sat on the back seat carrying a knife in his waistband, already a sign of how normalized weapon carrying has become among young people who feel they need protection. 20 minutes later, 2 teenagers aged 15 and 16 boarded with machetes hidden in their clothing. What followed was carnage. They stabbed Kellyanne at least 8 times in the chest, arms, and thighs. A post-mortem revealed he suffered at least 8 wounds, though other reports said 27 stab wounds. He was pronounced dead at 3:23 a.m. The Old Bailey heard this was gang-related retaliation. Just months earlier, in September 2024, a 15-year-old boy, reportedly Kellyanne's close friend, was also stabbed to death in Woolwich in what prosecutors described as gang retaliation. The cycle never stops. Murder triggers revenge. Revenge triggers counter-revenge. Young boys carry machetes to school. Mothers bury children. And it continues. Outside London, in Southend, just 40 miles from central London, machete brawls erupted on the seafront in broad daylight. 8 people were arrested, with at least 1 person stabbed and several hospitalized with serious injuries. Video footage shows gang members attacking each other with huge knives, completely undeterred by nearby security officers or families enjoying warm weather. Reform Party leader Nigel Farage responded, "Our country is being destroyed, our values trashed, and the public on the point of revolt." Reason 2. Gang violence is systematic, organized, and escalating despite government claims of progress. Across Britain, knife crime has surged nearly 80% since 2015. That's not a typo. 80% increase in under a decade. Last year, 10 teenagers were fatally stabbed in London alone, after 18 were killed in 2023. These aren't random acts by disturbed individuals. This is organized gang warfare. The judge sentencing Kellyan's killers noted one perpetrator was himself a victim of child criminal exploitation by gangs, with a history of trauma. The second boy was exploited by gangs from age 12 and had undiagnosed developmental needs. Kellyan's own mother told press her son was also exploited by gangs in Woolwich. Think about that cycle. Criminal gangs recruit vulnerable children, often from broken homes, poverty, or traumatic backgrounds, arm them with machetes and knives, exploit them as soldiers in territorial wars. Then these traumatized children murder other exploited children, creating more trauma, more revenge, more recruitment. It's a self-perpetuating machine producing corpses. Another case, Nino Ty Smith drove a stolen Mercedes into his victim in Clapham, knocking him off his moped. He then attacked the 25-year-old with a machete, leaving him with severe, life-changing injuries. The assault was motivated by gang rivalry. When police tracked Smith down 2 days later, they recovered an illegal firearm he discarded while fleeing. Machetes and guns. This is the arsenal London's gangs deploy casually. Reason 3. Police forces are stretched beyond breaking point and can't keep up. Here's the uncomfortable truth politicians avoid. London's Metropolitan Police is overwhelmed. The rise in crime happened alongside a decline in both personnel and funding. Compared with 2010, there were around 3,000 fewer police officers in 2018, while annual funding dropped to around £3.3 billion between 2013-14 and 2018-19. Compared with £3.62 billion in 2012-13. Yes, funding increased to £4.53 billion by 2023-24, and officer numbers climbed to around 34,900 in 2023. But that's trying to fill a hole dug by years of austerity cuts. Meanwhile, crime types have multiplied. Mobile phone theft exploded from 91,481 recorded thefts in 2019 to 117,211 in 2024. Around 80,000 phones were stolen in London in 2024, a 25% jump from 64,000 in 2023. Shoplifting hit 45,224 offenses in just the first 6 months of 2025, up 54% year-on-year. Police can't be everywhere. When a machete fight erupts on Oxford Street at 4 a.m., officers respond but arrive to find attackers long gone. When 10 boys swarm a victim in Shadwell, witnesses call police, but the gang vanishes before sirens arrive. When teenagers board buses with concealed machetes, there's no checkpoint, no screening, no prevention until someone's already bleeding out. The Met has deployed extra patrols across 32 hotspot areas, including Stratford, Croydon, and the West End. These efforts led to over 200 arrests and 1,000 stolen phones recovered in the West End alone. That sounds impressive until you remember 80,000 phones were stolen in 1 year. It's like celebrating finding 1,000 drops of water while the Titanic sinks. Reason 4. The geography of violence shows clear patterns and nowhere is truly safe. Westminster has the highest crime levels, over 40,000 incidents in the first half of 2025, equivalent to roughly 432 per 1,000 residents. Using crime risk scores, Westminster is the most dangerous borough, followed by Kensington and Chelsea, then Hackney. The safest borough is City of London, followed by Kingston-upon-Thames and Richmond-upon-Thames. But even safe areas aren't immune. Machete attacks happen in Clapham. bus murders in Woolwich. Robbery jumped 8.7% to 54,064 crimes between September 2024 to 25. Violent crime offenses reached 252,545 in 2023-24, up from a low of 186,488 in 2015-16. Violent crime has increased almost every year since 2015-16. In the year ending June 2025, there were 101 homicides, with Croydon and Lambeth having the highest levels. Yes, this represents historic lows, a fall of almost 60% compared to 2003. But here's what they don't emphasize. Lower deaths don't mean less violence. It means trauma surgeons are better at saving stabbing victims. It means someone stabbed 8 times might survive instead of dying. The attacks still happen. The trauma still destroys lives. Reason 5. The government response remains inadequate while celebrating selective statistics. Mayor Sadiq Khan loves highlighting positive numbers. Knife crime down 7%. Homicides at record lows. Violence with injury falling in all 32 boroughs. He points to his violence reduction unit securing an extra £9.4 million for 2025-26 for mentoring programs and community projects. But conveniently ignored. Violent crime increased from 186,488 incidents in 2015-16 to 252,545 in 2023-24. Overall crime climbed from 743,728 in 2015-16 to 938,020 in 2023-24. Robberies up 8.7%. Mobile phone thefts up 25%. Shoplifting surging 54%. Critics point out knife crime has risen 38% since Sadiq Khan took office. Sadiq Khan's knighthood was described as an insult to families of knife crime victims, with campaigners saying Sir Sadiq has completely ignored the pleas of victims' families to take more action. The judge sentencing Kellyan's killer stated, "It is sadly an all too frequent senseless loss of yet another young life to the horrors of knife crime, which no sentence of a court can ever truly reflect." Kellyan's mother asked in court, "How can children behave like this?" How indeed? When gangs recruit 12-year-olds. When teenagers carry machetes on buses. When 10-boy mobs hunt victims with axes. When Oxford Street becomes a battlefield. The government's response? Press releases about funding increases and marginal statistical improvements, while mothers bury mutilated children. Where we stand. December 2025. London recorded 957,481 crimes in the 12 months to December 2024. That's 107 crimes per 1,000 residents. Violent crime stands at 252,545 offenses. Robbery at 54,064 crimes. Mobile phone theft at 117,211 incidents. Behind every statistic is a human being. Kellyan Vakasa, 14, stabbed to death on a bus. A 25-year-old slashed with machetes on Oxford Street. A man attacked by 10 boys with axes in Shadwell. A Clapham victim left with life-changing injuries after a machete assault. These aren't numbers on spreadsheets. These are lives destroyed, families shattered, communities terrorized. Police admit they're stretched thin. Compared to 2010, there were 3,000 fewer officers in 2018. Yes, numbers have recovered somewhat, but crime types have multiplied faster than police capacity. Gangs evolve tactics. Weapons become more brutal. Violence becomes normalized among younger perpetrators. And police resources can't keep pace. The gang exploitation cycle continues unchecked. Vulnerable children get recruited. They're armed. They're traumatized. They commit violence. They create more trauma. More vulnerable children get recruited. The machine keeps churning out victims and perpetrators, often the same children playing both roles. Politicians celebrate marginal improvements while ignoring systemic failures. Yes, homicides are down. Yes, some categories show progress. But violent crime increased 35% since 2015-16. Robberies are up. Phone theft exploded. Shoplifting hit record highs. And teenagers still board buses with concealed machetes, hunting rivals in gang wars that never end. That's London in December 2025. That's the reality behind the statistics. And that's why every Londoner should understand. The crisis isn't over. It's evolving. The weapons get more brutal. The perpetrators get younger. The violence becomes more brazen. And police stretched beyond capacity struggle to respond while politicians tout selective statistics, ignoring the blood on London streets.